As I stared at the spreadsheet I had opened an hour ago, the cold blue glow from my monitor lit the office but made little difference on progress. Outside the globe, Christmas cheer was blankets covering everything. Snow-covered streets with flickering lights. Children snuggled in coats, but inside my office I felt as though time had stopped. I sighed and leaned back in my chair. A knock at the door shocked me. "Yeah, come in," I said, not turning around. Jake's coworker and the closest thing I had to a friend these days walked in with a grin. "Looks like you're getting ready for a siege rather than Christmas," I said, half smiling. "Depends on have you packed mistletoe or reinforcements." "Only an invitation." He held a vibrantly colored envelope. "Party for the company you are visiting." "Non-negotiable," I wheezed. "Jake's every year you avoided. This time you're visiting. If you're lucky, free drinks, bad karaoke, and perhaps even a slow dance. You know how I feel about Christmas." I mentioned, looking down Jake, and noted the fading teasing in his expression. "Yes, convoluted history." I answered nothing. I just watched the screen as the numbers danced before my eyes. Sitting across from me, Jake folded his arms. "All right, what about lunch?" "Just lunch or unrelenting. The diner needs a break." I mumbled but at last yielded, and fine. The diner was pleasant. A welcome change from the austere office. Jake had already ordered my regular pastrami on rye. He slid it toward me. "Thanks." And I said softly, "Thanks." He watched me for a beat. "Okay, what's really going on, Carol? This is heavier than your seasonal melancholy." I took a hard swallow. "Ray." Jake's jaw tightened. "Your husband, what now?" I shook my head. He hardly lived at all. Always in action, always flying. "Timmy hardly sees him. You see him now?" I laughed bitterly. "I note his name on missed calls and boarding passes." Jake lowered his voice and reached across the table. "You're burning out, Carol, not only from employment." Christmas Eve saw my throat tighten. Mom passed away 15 years ago, keeping our family together while Dad searched for bargains all around. Then he passed away on Christmas Day, coming home to surprise us. Plane crash. Jake watched back, shocked. "Jesus." So when Ray boards flights I panic, and when he doesn't come home I remember Mom collapsing under the weight of everything alone. "You're not alone," he said firmly. "You now have Timmy and me." I stayed late at the office that evening and phoned Ray's parents. Alice grabbed Carol. "She still works, sadly." "How's Timmy?" "He missed his dad." She answered softly. "And you heard Timmy's voice on the phone right next to Mommy?" I laughed, tears stinging. "Hello, darling." I hesitated. Hopefully, Dad would be home for Christmas. Following the call, I sat quietly. My phone buzzed. Ray was it. "Hi," I responded. "Long day," he sighed at Seattle's anarchy. "You phoned Timmy." "Experienced." "Got voicemail." "I know, he said I'm doing my best." "She misses you too." Not a yes. My heart sank. "Are you coming home for Christmas?" Silence. At home the house was dark. Not lights, not warmth, only Alice's note here. "The oven's lasagna still cool." I ate quietly, sorting mail junk. Holiday cards from Ray's side for Bill, none from my own. Later I curled up in bed clutching Ray's pillow. "Why can't you simply show up here?" 2 days later my world changed and I discovered a note on Ray's iPad. A lady named Evelyn, a few messages suggestive, then more, a hotel reservation on a video conference that evening. I confronted him on Evelyn. His face locked still. "It differs from what you believe. Try not to offend me." He sighed. "It began a few months ago. I was lonely, we were far apart. I had not planned it." I ended the call. 1 week later, I filed for separation, packed a bag, took Timmy in with Jake, temporarily. The damage was done. I started therapy, took time off work, focused on Timmy. Alice and Ray's father were broken but understanding. Ray begged, texted, called, apologized, promised change. He nodded, believing me, asking why Dad wasn't home since Mommy and Dad need time. "We both love you." Months passed. Ray stopped calling every day, then every week, then not at all. I rebuilt, found strength. I forgot I had reconnected with old friends, smiled more than less. Timmy loved a little house close to a park. It wasn't fancy, but it was ours. Eventually I bought it. "You always think you would be here starting over." "Never," I said, "but I am glad I am." He looked at me. "You deserve joy, Carol, not just survival." One evening Timmy played in the snow. Jake stood beside me. I looked up at him. For the first time in a very long time I experienced something stirring hope. A year later Christmas lights danced on our house, laughter permeated the air. Timmy helped Jake hang ornaments. I watched from the porch, hot cocoa in hand, heart full. Though it had not been simple, I had reclaimed my peace in life, chosen myself. and in doing so discovered something better than freedom from guilt. Like what you heard. There's plenty more heartbreak and secrets to come. Hit like, subscribe, and stay curious with Tangled Truths.